you want to know what flies to use on a certain body of water that you're not familiar with, you go to an expert. And one of those experts that I know is Tim Fox. He's a guide up in Northern California. It's Mr. Fox Outfitters. So I asked him about the Lower Sacramento River, and I said, okay, Tim, what flies do you use on that section of water?
My number one fly out here is a bird's nest that was designed by Cal Bird out of Nevada. Rest his soul. But there's been a lot of offshoots of that bird's nest. I like to tie it a particular way, just to give myself an edge, because again, these fish get pounded by other guides that aren't me, that aren't as nice. And so I have to use different flies to get the fish to bite. And so I'll tie them a particular way. And with that being said, if you're a tyer, that's great. You can just kind of create your own stuff and go that route. But if you really have to have the super secret bird's nest tied the way I do it, you can order them from me on my website, mrfoxoutfitters.com. Otherwise, it's a great fly year-round. So in the spring now, I will use it in a size 16, either non-beaded or a copper bead, or even sometimes a gold bead, especially when the PMDs are coming off. And then as we progress into summer, I'll use pupa, Mr. Fox's pupa, which is an awesome fly, and a bird's nest and a 14, and then a micro mayfly or something of that nature. And then, of course, there's little yellow stones, there's your rubber legs, your PMDs and things like that. And then you go into the fall, and with the use of beads now, you don't have to use hand-tied glow bugs. I mean, it's a lot of fun to catch fish on those, and sometimes they work better because, again, the fish haven't seen them. They're so used to the hard bead. But the beads are very economical, and they're very effective. So you go into the fall, the salmon are spawning, you're using your oranges and your pinks. Those work great. And then I trail behind it another bird's nest, because the salmon are digging up the gravel and they're kicking insects. So the fish are eating eggs, yes, but they're eating the caddis, all the junk floating down. A bird's nest works fantastic for that. So an egg, bird's nest, micro may, and then in the winter you kind of downsize. You're sticking with the egg and then 2 small nymphs, and again a small bird's nest and a micro may. That's your basic setup for flies.
Go up or down from there, and then
okay.
Just kind of side to side. This
all right.
is what these are. This is what
okay.
these are.
So these are all bird's nests. This is my main color, which is using the old Paxton buggy nymph, but it's now Mercer's buggy nymph dubbing, and it's the light hare's ear, and that's my number one color. A lot of guys will mix 5 or 6 different materials in a dubbing blender and create their own custom color. That's basically what I'm using. That's my number one, and I'll tie it in different sizes and different bead, non-bead, copper bead, gold bead, black bead, whatever you want. And you see olive, black, cream, and PMD. So that's, obviously as someone who's OCD, I want these full, but I've been guiding a lot, and so I've lost a lot of flies. So usually this is chock full. This one, the European jigs have been around for a while. I'm just getting into it, and so this box is not completely full, but your sweet peas and your perdigons and your Frenchies, those are all good. The key of the game on the sack, whether it's bird's nest or these, is sparse, thin, sparse. Fish seem to like that sparse profile. They sink better. They're not as spooky. The fish don't spook as much from them. So while I'm not being specific on here because I haven't come up with the super duper Mr. Fox fly in the Euro, I call them Euro trash jigs, but the European jigs, I haven't come up with my own specific one, but so far so good.
Tim Fox of Mr. Fox Outfitters has those flies, as well as knows how to use them and where to use them on the Lower Sacramento River. He's a guide up there in Northern California. He does that lower sack with both the drift boat and walk and wade. If you want to be put in touch with Tim, let us know. We'll get you in contact if you need a guide. He is a great one and a great person to learn from and a great person just to get to know. Really fun. I spend a lot of time with him out there on the water as well. So let us know if you want to be put in touch, and we'll see you right here next time on the Backcast.